All right, so I'm looking for my own channel. I'm looking for my own channel so I can the sound quality check. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, audio oxen free. All right, I'm gonna turn the music down just a pinch. Hopefully it won't affect my lighting. You guys have the lighting just right so it can be comfortable for me. I gotta turn this down. 1, 2. All right, I'm gonna try the sound now. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, Pikachu knees. All your yucks are free. Oh, it still sounds really loud. Oh. I have cords all over the place like I'm working in the science lab or something. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. And what is this right here in the way? Get out of the... Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. How does the sound now? This is what I had to deal with every time I go live. Can I hear the music? That's better. It's not as loud. Okay, I'm getting ready to roll with that. Okay, so I can put that there and move forward. It's about time I got it together. Next thing I want to do is... Wow, y'all, I didn't set up nothing. That's what you get for coming on the Saturday. Leave me alone. Alone, alone, alone. Oh my goodness. I'm scared. All right, so I'm setting up a couple things on here, guys, before I really get started. I can tell you one thing, the snow is snowing outside of my window. I actually have the window open so I can see what's going on out there. The snowflakes, y'all, they're so pretty. They're not sticking to the ground though. And I'm fine with that. So I'll put that in there. Let's see, start the goal. And far as the survey goes, I haven't thought of anything I want to put in the survey yet, but when that time arrives, you best believe I will certainly do that. I have this memo pad I need to open up too. Normally I will have that done already, but I don't, so I'm getting ready to set the memo pad up first, and then I'll be able to start. You guys, like with Windows has changed, and it's more of for me, it seems like the Windows software has become more of a inconvenience than anything. And I've been a fan of Windows, software, but it's just not hitting like it used to. It seemed like it's causing me Windows is causing me to have to do more work than usual. It's turned to me, Windows software has turned into like some Norton antivirus extreme. And I'm like, come on, you guys know that software that comes free for a limited time when you get your new computers and stuff. Well, to me, this is how Windows is acting. I know they're trying to protect us and all this stuff, but goodness, it's like, how many times I gotta re-log in? I said, remember me, computer, so I don't have to log in all the time. But no, that's not happening. Welcome in today to the show. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. 5 minutes of glory is almost over. It's running up the clock, getting things set in the background to be assured that when I go forward in a couple of seconds, everything will go according to plan. I'm here Monday through Fridays, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my usual schedule, with Sundays and Saturdays being the day that is kind of a bonus. So if I have something I want to talk about, which is today, I'll hop on. So today is Saturday for me, and obviously there's something I want to talk about. A lot of things happened yesterday, guys. We had news about the Winter Olympics. We had news about, unfortunately, the woman from Home Alone passing away. A really nice woman. I wish we did not lose her, but she is gone. And then we have why we're gathered around to talk about today, Mr. Lemon. So, how it happened was I had the weather on. You know, my husband and I had the news on to watch the weather. That's all I turned to the news for. And then the news just started cranking up, right on YouTube and on TV at the same time. Because I like to see what's going on YouTube by looking at my thumbnails and random timelines to just get a roundabout of what I want to focus my attention to, for the day in reference to news. So we had the news on because yesterday it was telling us that we were going to get hit with some more snow here in Georgia. Thank you so much. High five. Bam. So yeah, we're getting hit with some more snow. It's actually snowing right now, but it's not sticking. And then maybe 30 minutes later, I look down the YouTube timeline and it says that Don Lemon is arrested. I was like, no, they got him. Oh, the shame. Wait. I felt bad. So I did not want to listen to YouTube this time regarding the reporting of Don Lemon. I wanted to have a bigger screen and I needed to see and hear everything differently. So I instantly turned to good old reliable CNN. Now I had to turn CNN on my smaller screen TV. I do enjoy having CNN and C-SPAN and stuff on in the background because it's calming. Even though they talk about bad news and stuff, the way they deliver the news on there is organized, at least. Organized chaos on how they present things. So I turned CNN on my small TV because I don't like watching CNN and C-SPAN and stuff on the big TV because, it makes their heads look bigger. And sometimes when I doze off, it's kind of scary to wake up to all that face on the screen. It's too much. So I turned there to watch that, and I ended up having the TV on CNN the whole day, all the way into the night and dang near into the morning. Well, unfortunately, I was entertained. Not the kind of entertained like, oh, girl, let's gather around and talk about drama and gossip. No, I was entertained because, of course, they talked about Don Lemon in the Wise and House he got arrested. They even mixed in the Winter Olympics news, so I got caught up on that. In addition to that, I got caught up on, the beautiful woman who passed away from the Home Alone. How could you not miss her? And then in between keeping up with the weather that was happening here, my day fires entertainment and getting caught up on educational things that's going around the world globally. My day was filled. Thank you guys for the compliments. Thank you so much for coming in. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. I have my tab open and ready. I'm just going to take my time and talk about this. You're here to stay as long as you want. Yeah, Don Lemon got arrested. And then in addition to that, towards the end of the night, he got out and he made a speech. Speech. So I was happy to see that. So we're gathered around here, the forest fire, the dumpster fire, the bonfire, or my favorite, the ring of fire while the sun is set high in the sky to talk about the legendary Don Lemon. So, my first question in command for all of you who don't know, and for me to have a refresher course, because I'll tell you this much for sure: Don Lemon is a household name. Be you know a lot about him or you don't. That's just what it is. But how I got to know more about him is because of those New Year's celebrations that he used to host on TV. Ah! I tell you that much for sure. So I can't say. Look, I know he worked for some big box media. I don't know if it was CNN, what is it, NBS, NBC, one of those letters. Nonetheless, I know he worked for one of them. So for them to let him go, I thought it was weird because to me it seemed like Don Lemon knew how to draw in the youth. And isn't that what businesses need? They need the young people to help keep this wagon train going in all regards, you know? So for them to even fire him, I'm like, what are you doing? Because he's very engaging. So that's how I knew about Don Lemon, or paid attention to him the most, because he's the guy who hosted Bringing in the New Year for America. And he did a good job. So I'm going to start with the basics. You know how you want to say two words at the same time? I wanted to say beginning and basics at the same time. And then when that happens, I end up sounding like Porky Pig. A baguette, a baguette, a baguette, baguette. That's all, folks. Hi, you guys. Welcome in. High five. Bam. Thank you guys for pressing the like already. So according to AI Overview, Don Lemon, born March 1st. I didn't know that. My birthday's in March also. So Don Lemon, born March 1st, 1966, is a prominent American journalist, author, and former longtime CNN anchor. So he was on CNN. So rightfully so that they will be covering a fellow friend. I can say this. When I was watching yesterday in the morning, during this breaking news of Don Lemon getting arrested, I did watch it on CNN. All of the people who were on, at least for that early hour when the news broke, you guys were really nice. I didn't see anything like throwing salt or shade or being condescending or being funny or mean about the matter. Nor did I see anybody trying to suppress a smirk like, yeah, they got him. That's what he get. I didn't see or feel any of that, you know? They were just being professional regardless of whether or not how they feel about him or not. They did a good job delivering the news, focusing on what mattered the most, and delivering the message. So I'm thankful for that, because within that alone would have been a distraction from getting the point across. So shouts out to all the people yesterday morning who were covering the breaking news first on CNN. Here's a hug from me to y'all, because in the figment of my imagination, I'm pretending that you guys are watching this. So thank you guys for doing non-biased coverage on Don Lemon reporting of what happened. So Don Lemon was born March 1st, 1996, is a prominent American journalist, author, and former longtime CNN anchor from 2014 to 2023. So he was let go from there not so long ago. But can you see how big his YouTube channel has gotten, guys? He's been let go from CNN. He got fired, right? Because he was a permanent fixture. To me, he wasn't going anywhere, so they had to have let him go. He went immediately over to YouTube, and what I liked about Mr. Lemon is when he got on YouTube, he didn't act arrogant. He didn't treat going to YouTube as a step down. He didn't see it as a punishment or shame like a lot of the Hollywood people tend to treat people on YouTube. They treat people on YouTube like how our parents and our own peers would treat us like, oh, you do YouTube, it ain't no money in that, or you too immature to be doing, that's an immature job. YouTube ain't a job yet until you see the checks. Then you're going to be talking to us a different way, talking about how can you help? Nope. Figure it out yourself. So I can say Mr. Don Lemon was one of the Hollywood stars who did come onto the platform of YouTube with a wonderful attitude, and he also acknowledged and respected the fact that we were here first, and he thanked YouTube, I believe, for allowing him to have the opportunity to be able to basically have a job. So that's how much he believed in himself. That's the thing, you have to believe in yourself when you become a YouTube channel person, because the people will come. So he came to YouTube really nice, not disrespectful, not acting arrogant, and his numbers shot right up, and he's working here now. So congratulations on that. And once again, thanks for not being a jerk while you're sharing the space with all of us, me included, while you're on here. Very respectful on that. Thanks for not looking down on your fellow YouTuber. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for coming in and for putting your comments in. I appreciate you for trying to even listen. So continuing on AI overview, he is known for hosting CNN Tonight. He was a part of CNN since 2014 to 2023. Following his departure from CNN and a brief stint on Twitter, he now operates an independent YouTube show. As of January 2026, he is facing charges. Can I say that? Federal charges. He is facing federal charges in Minnesota related to covering you know what. Key details about Don Lemon. According to AI Overview. Don't know about books, but I recently watched The Station Master and loved it. Well, I'm glad you loved it. So if that's the case, would you like to see it as a big box movie theater blockbuster, or would you rather see the book that you recently that you just shared with us? Would you prefer the book to be a series on Netflix or a movie? Now that we have the luxury of choosing how we want to watch things, be it in the theater with this and all of its theatrical glory, or Netflix, seeing it busted up into like a what do you call it? I just said it, a series or an episodic event. How would you want to make it be? Hey, what's going on, Chile? How are you doing? Thank you guys so much for coming in. Hi, Chile. Bam. High five to you. I'm going to type that in there too. Just chilling here talking about, interchanging between talking about who is Don Lemon and also mixing it in with books and movies. The question of the day is a book you think would make a great movie. I just realized that the word movie was cut out of my question, but nonetheless, you guys understand what I'm saying. I just realized I cut the word movie out. Yeah! There's nothing I could do about it. We're all here live. It's too late. It's too late. Thank you guys for your compliments. High five to all of you. Shouts out to my moderator, Chile, for coming in. God bless you too. So yeah, that's my question for you about the book that you just shared with us. So according to AI Overview here, it's got some key details about Don Lemon because I'm learning more too. He's more than just a guy who did a good job hosting New Year's celebrations, of course, but that's how I was really introduced to Mr. Lemon, because he turned up every year. It's like how, you guys, I'm wondering, the way CNN carried themselves yesterday when reporting on their fellow brethren on the news, they did a wonderful job, like I said. So having said that, in my mind, I'm wondering if they feel bad for letting him go. And I wonder if their numbers tanked after letting him go, because to me, he was the one who drew in, he crossed the bridge. What is the saying that the people say? You know how you hire someone to connect the bridge to bridge the gap between the old generation and the new generation? That's how I saw Mr. Lemon as. He was the connector to keep CNN going. So I'm wondering if that's the case, if they might bring him back. The world is changing and everything and everyone in it is getting bolder. So perhaps they'll do what used to be the news and social media unthinkable and hire back someone they let go. The station master was starred by Peter Dinklage. Dude, that's his real last name? Like drink some juice? I tell you guys, the dude's last name is Drink. I wonder how he went through life without getting teased in school. You know, they're like, hey, Peter, what are you drinking today? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Career and background. Before his long tenure at CNN, he worked for NBC News and local stations. He is a 3-time regional Emmy Award winner. You guys, how do you become a 3-time? What in the world is a 3-time regional Emmy Award? I thought the Emmy Award was just an Emmy Award and you only got one thing. Like you only got one award. You know, an Emmy was that. I didn't know there were sections of an Emmy Award that you could get, but it says here. Maybe y'all can explain it to me. What is a 3-time regional Emmy Award? Now, I don't want to be stuck on asking that, but I'm stuck on asking that. So as I speak with you guys, I'm carefully highlighting that word or those few words, and I'm going to copy and paste it into my search and ask, what is this? What is this? What is this? Ah! Like Jack Skellington in Nightmare Before Christmas, when it started to snow, he was like, what's this? What's this? What is this? A 3-time regional Emmy Award winner is an individual such as a reporter, producer, editor, or videographer, or organization such as a local PBS station. Local PBS station. Sorry, y'all. I have this random parrot that I cannot get out of my studio, and every once in a while, he'll fly around and repeat what I'm saying. I haven't caught it yet. So it says here, a 3-time regional Emmy Award winner who has received 3 awards from a regional chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Science, known as NATAS, N-A-T-A-S. These awards recognize excellence in video programming. Excellence in video programming. I know I read that wrong. Y'all, I need to put my glasses on. I'm seeing double vision. Help me. I'm seeing double. Oh, I'm seeing double. Okay, it says these words recognize excellence in television. How in the world did I get that word out of television? These awards recognize excellence in television programming and technical achievements within a specific geographic area in the United States. I wouldn't qualify for the award because I'm still trying to figure out all these big old words and qualifications you got to do in order to get it. Let me me just back this car on out of that driveway. Get out of the way. Get me out of here. Y'all, this is a lot of stuff. It's gotta be something that's upstanding because it says these awards recognize excellence in television programming. Technical achievements. But not only technical achievements, these technical achievements have to be within the specific geographical what? The world is big. So are we're being selective on which location of the geography we are reporting on in the United States? That's too much. That's too many rules. You can only get this award if you do this. So how many years of college do you want me to be in order to get this award? If I get it at all. All of those big old technical words I said sounds like an individual college degree to me. So we're looking at $100,000 worth of collegiate academia in order to even qualify for the potential to maybe get a 3-time regional Emmy award. Maybe. With no guarantee of a payout. And then you're sitting with a $100,000 debt. Boy, if I got that award, you'll see me do a Christmas miracle. And the Christmas miracle is successfully doing a backflip, to which I have not mastered. How I made the dance squad is a Christmas miracle. How you gonna make the dance squad and you cannot backflip? Ha! I believe in miracles on that thought alone. I said, do you believe in miracles? Yes, I believe in miracles. Why do you believe in miracles, young lady? I believe in miracles because I made the dance team and never did a backflip in my life. Wow, really? Yeah, girl, I did that. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. So I just read about what in the world a 3-time regional Emmy award winner is. Excuse me. I guess that's a sign for me to take a sip of water. As slowly as I'm talking, you mean to tell me I'm still choking up over my words? And I am talking slowly. There's no way this should be happening, especially on the live internet, for all the world to see. There's no way I can edit it out because I have my staff. They're not working today. You know, the fancy schmancy television people, they have a 12-second gap. So like, let's say I sneeze real tough. They can just edit that out before y'all see it. But no, if I sneeze real tough on here, y'all gonna see it all. You want to talk about reality TV? Welcome. The Stand by Stephen King. It's not a cult classic, but it might as well be. I don't think it classifies under a cult classic, but I'm quite sure you guys know what I'm saying. That movie, no matter how many times I watch it, I still seem to find parts in that movie that I don't ever remember seeing. So it's making me wonder if that movie's got some magic in it. Are you the only... I might be the only one who's going through that type of crisis. But have you guys, of course you've seen The Stand, right? Because you wouldn't have told me. You wouldn't have told me had you not. When you watch The Stand, are you still finding pieces in the movie that you don't recall seeing or hearing still? Well, I have been. Chucky is alive and I think I could prove it. What? Chucky is alive and I can prove it. Stephen King's The Stand is alive and I can prove it. The Purpose-Driven Life. Ooh, is that a movie? If it's not, it should be. That's a good book. Now, I didn't read all of the book yet. Okay? But what I read is good. High five to you for the stand. Bam. High five for you for the purpose-driven life. You're funny. I like your spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so the purpose-driven life, I still have that book. I think I made it through like chapter 2. And I even started documenting things in there that I was reading about to apply it. But to me, the way I was breaking down chapters 1 and 2, it was a lifetime of information in chapter 1 and 2. So I just stopped reading it right there. Never feel bad if you don't complete a book. Maybe you stopped for a reason. Maybe you gathered everything out of the book you needed to know. So put it on the shelf and move on. The way things are going, it's a miracle we have time to read a chapter of a book nowadays. I read the book in 85. Really? So, honestly, The Stand has been out for a while. But the only thing I know that probably changed in The Stand is just the cover art, just to keep up with the change of the times. Speaking of change of the times and how the same book remains, the word still remains, like The Stand and The Purpose-Driven Life. Only thing that changes is the cover of it, the skin of the book. So having said that, I'm hoping that during this trial and tribulation that Don Lemon is going through, that perhaps CNN or where else did the computer say he worked at? Yes, I don't remember all my facts. That's why I'm looking at the teleprompter. CNN and another news place. Let's leave it at that. Who did once work for him. Perhaps they'll take on a new face by rehiring him back to bring the news into a new era, because the news is changing. Sports have changed. Football has changed. They did their big one. It was rocking and turbulent for 3 years to me. Now, I'm not a football buff, but it's on all the time, so I can only pick up what I see. Football went through its changes. It's starting to pan out. Now the news, it's you guys' turn, Everybody gets a turn. You got to adjust. Don't start acting like the cowardly lion. Don't start acting like the sore loser news people. You have to roll with the times too. And that's what makes me a little upset, because to me, it just seems like this whole hoopla is because people are so set in their ways and they don't want to make adjustments because the car was working so well for 25 million years, and they don't want to get out the car and give it a tune-up. They don't want to get out the car and give it a deep cleaning. That's how I feel. And so instead of getting out the car and tweaking things and rolling with the times and freshening up their face and their appearance, everybody's getting the axe. And it's by bad means. What's going on? Wow, long time no see. Bam, girl dad cooking up deliciousness. Wow, to me, you're a YouTube celebrity. Your channel was doing really great. The food you put on there actually do be looking good. You got to start somewhere, even for those who don't know how to cook. But Girl Dad Cooking Up Deliciousness, his website is good, and he cooks up really good food, and it's very encouraging, So shouts out to you, and thanks for coming in to see how we're doing over here. Keep up the good work, man. You're doing great over there. To me, I have a celebrity in the chat. That's awesome. High five. Bam. I'm very happy to be a part of this day and age where the news is changing again. You are very welcome. Thank you. You are very welcome for that. And like in the words of the, what was the Keanu? You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. I'm like, dang. So yeah, I think that the news needs to just be brave, because it's your turn to keep up with the changes. This is an opportunity for you guys to expand your brand. not stay stifled in the Stone Ages. Come on. Even the local news people are keeping up with the changes. Not keeping up with the changes by simply changing the set. You know, anybody can change a set, but they haven't fired anybody in the local news here. They have incorporated with them all the technologies that they need, and I've watched them stumble and stammer along on live news, but while they were doing it in the stages of getting acclimated with this new technology and the trajectory of where we're going for our social media and the news presentation, we were able to see them grow. They had to learn how to use the tablet while they were live on air. They stopped using those laptop computers. They used something smaller. Even the meteorologists had to get used to the new technology and how they had to present weather. And even their jobs have even gotten more extensive because they had to introduce new segments to keep up with TikTok now. They had to introduce new segments so they can have segments for Twitter known as X. They had to introduce new segments on their show for YouTube, all because of the short form content. So they were doing this 2 and 3 years ago. I watched them do that, and it was bumpy, you know, but they just were like, thank you guys for bearing with us on this new set. Our studio is undergoing the changes of the time. So we got to see them push the wrong buttons when they were trying to operate new equipment. We got to see them have mess ups when they were trying to transition into a commercial. You know, we saw when they messed up when they were trying to incorporate new shows to engage with the modern society, or modern society meaning the new audience, Gen Alpha, Gen Z. You know, it's their turn now, so they're trying to tailor their news to keep the engagement up to appease to the new generation. And so I don't see that in the big box newses. I don't see them doing that. They're doing it now because they have to. They're not doing it because they want to. They're scrambling to keep up with the Joneses now because it's that, to me, their bottom dollar is getting affected. But lo and behold, everybody else went through the ugly parts of growth already. They've already done it. You guys are doing it, and you want to save face and not just keep up with the changing times. Short form content, I had to get used to doing that. And yes, it was quite annoying. I didn't like having to make YouTube shorts. I'm like, why do I gotta do this? I'm a long form content creator. This is so stupid. I have a short attention span, but it's not this short. Okay, so I had to get used to making YouTube shorts because once again, the sign of the times, things were changing, and I didn't want to be stuck in the box. Because that's just, I don't want to stifle myself. So having said that, once again, I feel there might be a window where one of these big box news people will be bold enough to bring Don Lemon back. I can say this, from what I'm seeing, you know, CNN, MSNBC, all of those people over there, they might want to do it, but they're scared because they don't want to get the axe, if you know what I mean. So having said that, I think this will be a bold and daring time for MTV to house Don Lemon. They're bold and daring already. That's how they got their start. That's how they were born. You guys, can you still hear me? What was I going to say? MTV got their start and were born because they were brave and bold to do the unthinkable, putting out just nothing but music and celebrating all types of music from all walks of life, I think. So MTV, since you're bold and daring and the black sheep of media, why not hire Don Lemon? Because that would help evolutionize news all around the world, meaning for the old fogies like CNN, C-SPAN, MSNBC, and all those old heads who are too stuck in their ways or just too scared to do anything. If you MTV or heck VH1, but I'd rather it be MTV because I like them way more. If you MTV took the charge and hired Don Lemon to be your news person, it will break the barrier for all the other people to follow. A lot of people want to do things, but they're too scared or may not know how to articulate a way to make it happen. But MTV, you guys are like rogue. You guys are the champion of thinking outside of the box. So if you do it, everything else will follow into place and they'll be able to see how they can win financially. These older news people just need to see how they can make money. Once you give them a blueprint that works so they don't have to do it, if you are willing to be the guinea pig to show them how you can really financially gain from a changing world and how the world delivers news, they'll be on board. And I can guarantee you that a lot of this percentage of putting the blame on other people will stop because their bottom line is secure for at least 15 years. So I'm very happy. Thank you guys for your compliments. I'm not leaving or anything like that. I just wanted to let you guys know I see your comments. And thank you so much. Thank you. Some of the comments that you guys are saying, I still see them. And yes, prayers up for everybody at this time, no matter what type of walk of life, because we're all affected by this. All of us are affected by this. So yeah, prayers are for everybody because we all, at the bottom line, what is it? We just want the madness to stop all across the board. So moving forward, back to where okay, I'm back. That was weird, but I'm back. Thanks, YouTube, for keeping me on the line and patching me in after I was able to reconnect. Has a small technical issue blunder on my side, but YouTube, you did. Before I continue on with the live stream, thank you, YouTube, for allowing me to be able to easily connect my live stream so I'm not losing. For the ones who stayed in the stream while I was having sudden technical difficulties. I am looking for something to put a splash of color in the chat. I'm going to bring up my memo pad and just put some more positive words in here. I want to put, I'm going to put this one in there. And some flowers. First thing first, when I type in flowers on here, I usually don't get the type of flower that I'm looking for as far as my emoji. I like the emojis where they have these flowers and they're in a bundle and they're cute. It's like a bundle of flowers in my emojis. Let me see if I have that option. Here they are. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully when I share them with you, they'll show up so you can see. After I share this positive quote with some flowers, I'm going to put some leaves in the chat because they're pretty. Even though it's not harvest season right now, I think these emojis look pretty in the chat. So there we go for that. So I refreshed my page, guys. I had got disconnected. So hopefully everything will catch on my Android phone. So I can see your comments come in on there too. Hang on. Thankfully, the computer, the laptop computer I'm on, the Chromebook, I can see your comments on there. But it might take a few minutes for them to start showing up on my cell phone. Where is my never mind. I found it. back to what I was reading. I'm still in the introduction of who Don Lemon is. Who is Don Lemon? Here's some key details. The last thing I read, my cool peeps, was career and background. Before his long tenure at CNN, he worked for NBC News and local stations. He's a 3-time Regional Emmy Award winner. Now, this is how I even started talking about all the other stuff, because I needed to look up what in the world is a 3-time Regional Emmy Award winner. And then that thought took me all around the world, and I started talking about everything else. But I was able to successfully sew it all together in one big bowl to bring home a point that wouldn't it be cool if one of the news people hired him back? It could be a possibility the way social media and news is changing. Continuing on, independent media. Following his 2023 departure from CNN, he launched an independent media venture, including a show on YouTube. Yup, he's got a show on YouTube, and his friends were there. I think it was 5 friends, because there was 5 boxes in there. It was a group chat live stream, and there was 5 friends who were holding it down for Don Lemon while he was in jail. They ran the show, so I thought that was nice, because that shows an example of how family is supposed to be. Or just if you have something like a job or something, you're supposed to have a plan just in case something happens. So I really thought it was cool that they were able to keep the show running for him while he was away. And even well into the night when they announced that he got out of jail, Mr. Don Lemon said, had a small press conference, he gave a statement. They were still there holding the line. So shout out to all you guys. Bam. Number 1, for just keeping business going, and in the spirit of professionalism, no matter what happens, the show must go on. So in the spirit of professionalism, for as far as being news people, that's awesome. Number 2, in the spirit of showbiz, where the show must go on, y'all did that. Number 2. And number 3, for just being a good friend or fellow colleague or association too, for just keeping the show going. Gotta keep the bills paid. And the only way to do that is to report to work. So you guys all get a high five from me. Bam. 3 high fives. Cha cha cha. Thank you guys for coming back in. Some of you probably got kicked out because I had to refresh my page. Thankfully, I was able to come back on my stream and I didn't lose anything. According to AI Overview, under the question of me asking who is Don Lemon, it's got 2026. Oh no, they're going right into the legal issues. I thought they were going to give me a longer list of like who he is. What I might have to do is go to Wikipedia, because what AI Overview did just is simply gave me a brief summary, which is fine because within those couple paragraphs, I learned a lot about him. All right, moving forward down here. Pardon me as I scroll through things. I have a cookie here, so I haven't eaten it yet. Look, it's my last one. It's a snowman sugar cookie. I don't want to eat it just yet. This is my last snowman Christmas cookie that I have. I have two and a half more Christmas cookies left, but those look boring. It's just like Christmas leaves with green sprinkles. Ugh, yawn. So I am going to type in Don Lemon Wikipedia. DON if the computer will allow me. It's acting. Okay, Don Lemon, DON. Computer, stop. DONLEMON, Wikipedia. Wikipedia.com. And I'm quite sure when I go on here, it will tell me a little bit more about who he is, because I'm curious as well. Outside of him being the hype guy who will help usher in the New Year's on TV, Don Ronaldo Lemon Clark. Oh my gosh, Lemon isn't his name for real? Are you guys serious right now? Is this really happening? Is this really happening? I have a question before I get started. Are you able to type in the chat? You able in the chat? I am wondering because I had to reconnect my live stream and all of my things aren't working right now. There, so I'll put that in there to see if that's happening. Moving forward, Wikipedia. So if you're interested, I am reading about Don Lemon on Wikipedia.com. Don Ronald Lemon Clark. William Michael Crumb. No, don't call me that. Born March 1st, 1966, is an American television journalist best known for being a host on CNN from 2014 until 2023. Wow. That's banana. He anchored weekend news programs on local television stations in Alabama and Pennsylvania during his early days as a journalist. Early days as a journalist. Lemon worked as a news correspondent for NBC on its programming such as Today and NBC Nightly News. NBC Nightly News seemed like it would be more fun than working daytime TV. Even though at that time when Mr. Don Lemon was reporting, everyone in who worked in the news at that point, was still stuffy. But it still seemed like you had a little more freedom to be yourself, just a smidget, if you were able to work in the nighttime, right? I'm going to see something really quickly. Hang on. Look, where's my mute button? Mute. All right, guys, I'm back. Like I said, it's snowing here, and the snow is blowing, and so I believe that's why I had got kicked out. Anyways, I had to reconnect. So thank you, Chile. I see the comments now. Power glitch, perfect. Thank you for that. I figured out. Yup, it's still snowing out here. It's a miracle that I'm still able to be on for this long. So I'm gonna put thank you. Thank you for your help and update. Thank you for your help and update. Popcorn and high five. Problem solved. So the problem is solved. Thank you for that, Chile. Going back to the Wikipedia of it all, it says here Lemon is also a recipient of an Edward R. Murrow Award in 2002 for his coverage of the capture of the Washington D.C. A word we cannot say. He also received 3 regional Emmy Awards. Now, you know when we talked about here we go again with the regional Emmy Awards. You saw all of the criteria that you saw the criteria for that. I'm like, y'all can have it. And then it says here he joined CNN in 2006, also as a correspondent, and later achieved prominence as the presenter of Don Lemon Tonight from 2014 to 2022. He most recently served as a co-host of CNN This Morning alongside with Caitlin Collins and Poppy Harlow. Poppy Harlow is an American journalist and media executive, and I'm paraphrasing, who is always happy and nice. Always happy and nice. So it says here he got to work alongside Miss Poppy Harlow. Miss Poppy Harlow is an American journalist and media executive. She is the founder and CEO of Day 2 Media. Day 2 Media. Chair of the WSJ Board of Directors, Council, permanent member of the Council of Foreign Relations and Aspen Institute, Henry Crown, and so on. Cool. I had to give her a shout out. What's going on? High five. Bam. Welcome into the show. It's a bonus day, talking about the whole Don Lemon of it all. We're here around to see what happened. Y'all were so surprised that happened. First thing in the morning, after several on-air controversies and reports of alleged decade-long instances of misogyny, he was fired by CNN in April 2023. So yeah, he did get fired from CNN a few years ago now. But he's got his own platform on YouTube, so it's like he never missed a beat. It's 2026 now, so that was 2023. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. High five. Bam. Thank you so much for your donation. So I've just finished reading the first portion of the Don Lemon thing in the description here. So I'm not a queen of multitasking, but I am multi-talented. So I'm getting ready to type to you in the comments now. So thank you for holding on till I finally got to it. At Big Papa. Okay. Hey there, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in and for your donation. Thank you so much. High five. Bam. High five. That's really cool. Thanks, guys. Hope all is well and hope you're keeping warm at work. Early life and education. We're on early life and education. Don Ronald Lemon Clark was born, it just said this, March 1st, 1966, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the son of Catherine Marie Bougney and Wilmon Lee Richardson. His father was a prominent attorney, wow, okay, whose firm was a party to a lawsuit that successfully challenged the Martin Luther King aspect of it all. Of public transportation in Baton Rouge. Lemon was born under the surname of his mother's then husband, and discovered that Richardson was his father when he was 5. Wow. So I'm quite sure we're all waiting for a movie to come out about him now. No, this is it. It seems like, according from what I've seen, he's been a news rebel from the start, and having gotten arrested seals the deal. So this will be the perfect. This is the perfect fodder to have a movie come out, a Netflix special now. So I'll sit back with my popcorn and wait, because everybody under the sun is now getting the documentary. He might as well get one too. Starring as himself, playing himself. What do y'all think? Do y'all think Don Lemon should go on to get a Netflix original special now? It's enough information to go off of to keep us all entertained. And might as well bring him back to hosting the New Year's again. Because that was funny. And then when the YouTubers did the commentary about it, yeah, that was even more funnier. Shout out to my YouTubers, man. You guys, I've got Fruit Loops here. These things are great. I'll have you know, cereal makes for a great snack. An inexpensive snack. Thank you so much for pushing the thumbs up, guys, and for your donations. I really appreciate that. Because you most certainly didn't have to, but you have. I have to make sure I cover the snacks back up so I don't accidentally spill them. So I have my bag, and I cover over the bowl with the scrunchie. With the scrunchie. So while I'm back here working, I don't spill it over. Because I don't want to wait. I don't want my cereal to go to waste. And then on top of that, it's a big old mess I had to clean up. Continuing on here. So it's nice to know about his mom and dad and how he just found out. Well, he found out who his real dad was when he turned 5. That's a whole story right there. He is of mostly African American ancestry along with Creole. His maternal grandmother was the daughter of a black mother and a white father who had French and Scots Irish ancestry. He said he went through some things when he was a child, unfortunately, SA, who lived nearby, someone who lived nearby. You know, things like that. The sad things that people should not have to go through. He expressed that happened to him when he was young. And it's not fair. And I'm very sorry about it. I'm sorry that happened. He was voted class president during his senior year. And please know that these things have been submitted by way of Wikipedia. So he attended Louisiana State University, where he was voted for. You know, he talked about his voting things. I'm not going to get too much into who he voted for in the past, but simply the facts that matter. Like, who in the world is he? He later graduated from Brooklyn College with a major in broadcast journalism in 1996 at the age of 30. While at Brooklyn College, he attended at WNYW. I wonder what that means. WNYW. WNYW is a television station in New York City. New York City! It is the flagship station of the Fox Television Network, owned and operated through its Fox Television Stations division. Okay, cool. He worked for Fox affiliates in St. Louis and Chicago for several years and was a correspondent for NBC affiliates in Philadelphia and Chicago. So that's a long rap sheet to me already, and I'm quite sure, and I'm scrolling through here really quickly, there's a whole lot more to go in reference to his rap sheet and history of things that he's gotten. But in a nutshell, that gives you a loosely based definition of who he was, what he did, and how he became to be who he is. It pretty much started at birth because his dad was into stuff like that. And, you know, that's pretty darn cool. The next question is, because I have it in the title, it says here, and guys, thank you so much for pressing the like buttons. I have tons of likes, according to my opinion. And thank you for your donations and for the watch time. It has here, who is Don Lemon, and do he really like drinking lemonade? Now, that's a question I want to know because, after all, that his name actually has the word lemon in it. Did you know that? I didn't know that. We've got, I'm going to open this page up here. Do Don Lemon like drinking lemonade? Don really like drinking lemonade. So I'm going to see what AI overview can bring up. It probably will be like, well, he's never made any mentions of liking lemonade. There have been some episodes while on the news where he talked about lemonade. Here we go. I asked AI overview, did Don Lemon really like drinking lemonade? And it says, based on the provided search results, there is no information indicating whether Don Lemon, the journalist, enjoys drinking lemonade. The search results focuses on the health effects and misconceptions regarding lemon water. Legal and professional updates regarding Don Lemon in 2026 and his background and career. So AI overview could not scour the internet seas to see whether or not he likes lemonade. However, it did not leave me hanging. It gave me an article on the biggest benefits of drinking lemon water. But out of this search, according to Wikipedia, he's got the word lemon in his name. It says here, while there's no official reports confirming the deep passion for lemonade, there are a few interesting connections between journalist Don Lemon and his citrus namesake. So here we go. Lemon water stands. Lemon water stands. In the 2024 interview discussion, Lemon mentioned that while he doesn't drink lemon water as a morning ritual, he does drink it. It is a good alternate choice to unhealthy drinks and enjoys the fresh taste of lemon water. We're getting somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, pets, plants, animals, artificial intelligence, and all living, breathing things here under the sun, we are getting somewhere. According to AI overview, the name pun, because of his last name, he has frequently been the subject of puns. Recently, social media users joked about him after he was charged following a protest at a Minnesota church with some ironically suggesting supporters make some lemonade for him. Oh, come on, people. Is that going to be the new saying? You know how Wendy Williams would say, take several seats? So is this going to be one of those things, go make some lemonade and take several seats? Shouts out to Wendy Williams. High five. Bam. How are you doing, girl? I'm missing Wendy Williams on TV. I hope all is well with her. I'm going to minimize this tab and pull up some notes here. It says here, I'm going to copy and paste this into here so you guys can read what I just read. Here's the first part. And here is the second part. Part 2, and paste. There's some fun facts for you guys. Now you can share the news with everyone. I'll take a small break really quickly. How are you guys doing today? Are you keeping warm? I sure hope so. We've got snow here, but thankfully it's not sticking. We'll have to keep a close ear to the news to see what's going on, if anything is to change. This whole snow situation is supposed to be going until sometime tomorrow. Just like last week, y'all. They were like, be ready for Saturday and Sunday because that's when it's gonna show up and show out. And here we are. Next week, the same thing, Saturday and Sunday. But this time, hopefully, it won't show up and show out. It's got here recent news. Well, that has nothing to do with that. So out of this so far, I was able to dredge up a little lemon information. Georgia, yeah, we've got snow here. I'm going to put some snowflakes in the chat. And you guys, this is the big old pretty snowflakes as well. We've got snowflakes here. We've got snow here. And in some places, they got a lot. Welcome in. So having said that, I copied and pasted the information in there. Once again, lemon, I asked, do Don Lemon really like drinking lemonade? So far, what AI Overview was able to muster up is lemon water stance in 2024. In a 2024 interview discussion, Lemon mentioned that while he doesn't drink lemon water as a morning ritual, he does think it is a good alternate choice to unhealthy drinks and enjoys the fresh taste of lemon water. See? Yeah, there was they were doing coverage on the news and they were interviewing a young lady. She had short red hair, and it was live, and she was really happy because she said she's never seen snow before. And so what she's going to do is order her up a coffee and just walk in it. I thought that was really cool, So it's made someone's day. And just reading, well, not reading, because I actually listened to the news. After listening and watching the news in that moment this morning, it made me even happier to see that this odd weather is making somebody's day. I hope that no one else gets snowed in. I've still been listening around to random YouTubers who have been impacted by the snow. They're finally able to move around, thankfully, and driving their cars. They finally got shoveled out. But is it gonna happen again? Yikes! They just start getting out and about and going to appointments and going to the store and stuff. So I hope that doesn't happen. I'm going to take a look on my notes here to see if there's anything else I forgot to talk about. Let's see here. What do I have on my notes? Oh, in reference to the New Year's celebration. I want to know more information about that. I think they should bring him back to celebrate the New Year's. Thank you so much. My next question is, can you please tell me about... Can you please tell me about... How can I ask this question? About how the news decided to pick Don Lemon to host the past New Year's Eve celebrations. That's the question. I wanted to look on my notes to be sure I asked everything before I left. Once again, I'm going to be on here. I'm going to take my time. I'm moving really slowly.
No need to rush. So, can you please tell me about how the news decided to pick Don Lemon to host the past news? I have that question written down here, but the way I worded it on the computer is a lot more thorough than how I put it in my notes. So what I'm going to do is take the time out to write the question into my notes, because I like how I worded it on the computer better than how I wrote it in my notes. While I'm writing the question here in my notes, do you guys still note take with a pen and paper, or have you solely converted over to e-notes and electronic notes, or is it half and half for you? Can you please tell me about how the news decided to pick Don Lemon to host the past New Year's? Wow, this is a long question I asked. New Year's Eve celebration. So that's where I'm at. I asked, can you please tell me about how the news decided to pick Don Lemon to host the past New Year's Eve celebrations? Just a moment, please. I'm going to check some things behind the scenes to see how everything's going. No, she bit me. Ah, I'm sorry. Welcome into my new subscribers. Welcome into Elay TV platform. This is a variety channel, so I don't just talk about one specific thing. I have a multitude of things on here that will definitely entertain you or catch your attention. Once again, thank you guys so much for subscribing. It means a lot. And I really appreciate all the likes that I have. You guys, for me, you're showing up and you're showing out. Slow and steady wins the race, hey? Can you please tell me about how the news decided to pick Don Lemon to host the past New Year's Eve celebrations? During his tenure at CNN, my cool peeps, Don Lemon became a staple of the network's New Year's Eve coverage because of his high energy, viral moments, and loose hosting style. These are three strong elements that social media people need in someone that they are hiring, especially to help them launch forward into the new wave that we are embarking on. Not embarked on, that we are in. So I really think that it would be beneficial if CNN or whoever fired them to bring them back, because that's what they're lacking. We've got the smart people over there. Yes, CNN is for smart people, but you got to do more than just be smart. You have to have a personality. I mean, you don't have to skin and grin, but you do not want to be over there being a robot. Long gone are the days of just posting news and being, hello, welcome to CNN, where we get straight to the chase. I'm glad you're here today. We're going to talk about what we all know is happening. No, you're going to lose your audience. So you have to have a little life into you. And these three things are what they're lacking all across the board. Take ESPN, for example. You see how they started to adjust during 2020. When all of that happened, when everyone had to stay in their room and stay inside for a while. CNN went under some massive adjustments then, and it wasn't pretty, but it was beautiful at the same time. And look at where they are today. Now that they're back up and running, they're a little bit more carefree and not so stuffy, because sometimes when I will watch ESPN, it made me feel sorry for them because they have to be so uptight. I'm like, it's sports. Why are we up here being so stuffy? It's sports. You're not supposed to be stuffy like that. So ESPN also changed with the times. They saw it coming, just like our local news saw it coming. They haven't missed a beat. So why can't I CNN, MSNBC keep up with the times? That's what it's called. Liberal news. Well, thank you for that. Tell me something. I hear that word all the time, but I just dismiss it because I'm like, I'll just say, why are they so stuffy? It used to make me wonder if they would get in trouble, They should be able to breathe. It's not like I'm telling them they need to get on the news and eat a hot pocket and talk with their mouths open. There's a space for everything. That's called being a YouTuber. I'm talking about just cracking a smile every once in a while. And you're not going to get in trouble for doing it. Good gravy, people. Just. I'm going to get ready and read some more of what it's saying here. During his tenure at CNN, Don Lemon became a staple of the network's New Year's Eve coverage because of his high energy, viral moments, and loose hosting style. These are key points that I think should be addressed, so I'm going to put it down in here. The CNN error. The CNN error. According to AI overview from year 2006 to 2023, CNN originally selected Lemon to provide a contrast to the more formal countdown in the New York City. Excuse me. I'm eating my last snowman cookie. I've got 3.5 other winter cookies left to eat before they expire. We got them on clearance, so I gotta eat them before they go bad. Moving forward, hi guys. High five. Bam. Thank you so much for coming in. I hope you guys are doing great. And thanks so much for pressing the like. We've got the strategy. CNN originally selected Lemon to provide a contrast to the more formal countdown in New York City. I'm going to put women's in there. CNN originally selected Lemon. Did I just read that? Sometimes I lose my place and I find myself repeating the words over. The strategy. While Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen anchored from Times Square, CNN moved Lemon to southern cities like New Orleans or Nashville to host a, quote, party atmosphere. Party Pete from regular show. So Don Lemon was the Party Pete of CNN. Party Pete. Are you guys ready to rock? Yeah, we're ready to rock. We're ready to party. The appeal. The appeal. Networks often look for personalities who can handle live, unscripted chaos. Boy, isn't that the truth? You guys, they're using all the correct descriptive words to make things happen, right? The appeal. The networks often look for personalities who can handle live unscripted chaos. Lemon was chosen for his ability to lean into the fun. He famously drank tequila on air. got his ear pierced during a live 2017 broadcast, and even jumped out of a giant lemon cake in 2022. This is what the news is missing. A break from their jobs of having to deliver bad news around the clock. We need a breath of fresh air so we can breathe and brace for the next wave of news that they have to give us. Thank you so much. Thank you for your compliment. Ratings. I hope you guys are having a good weekend too. Mine's is going well. It's comfortable. It's cozy. I have my snacks here. And I'm taking my time reading this information and just chatting about a lot of things I was wondering in general about the whole CNN and the Don Lemon situation. So we're currently gathered around the forest fire, the bonfire, the dumpster fire, but my favorite ring of fire under the rising sun on the portion of why they hired him to host New Year's. It's got the ratings. These boozy antics became a social media tradition, often trending as hashtag drunk Don Lemon, which drove significant viewership and viral engagement for the network. Once again, this is how I was really introduced to Mr. Lemon, is because of him going viral on social media for his entertaining New Year's Eve's shenanigans that he did. They were unfiltered, unscripted, and just like AI Overview said, the networks often look for personalities who can handle live, unscripted chaos. Lemon was chosen for his ability to lean into the fun. He famously drank tequila on air, and we saw it after the third shot. Things were starting to take an impact. He started to get red in the face. As the New Year waned on closer, so did his spirits get even higher, as if he could get more hype than what he already was. But after he took those shots to the dome, he got higher, higher, higher off the ground. And I believe he was able to do that because it was after the time slot where everyone was, not of age, was asleep. But once again, wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your donation. Yes, and to add to that, Chris, it says on Wikipedia, this is what Wikipedia is saying. He's got the name Lemon in his full name. It's hyphenated, but in Wikipedia it says here, and once again, thank you for your donation. I'm going to it right now. It says at the top, it says Don Ronald Lemon Clark. I'll copy it and paste it because this is the first thing they lead off in Wikipedia, so you can see for yourself. So here you go for that, and paste. And then I'm going to get in type and say thank you so much for your donation as well. But while I'm typing thank you for your donation, and what's going on, Sound Waves? High five, bam! Thank you too for your donation. So that's Don Lemon's real name according to Wikipedia. He's actually got the word lemon in it. I believe that was one of my questions I wrote on my clipboard, which is why I'm taking my time today, because this may be the one and only time I'll be talking about him. And so, since I'm doing so, I want to make sure I have all my questions answered. I'm going to put thank you so much for your comment and donation. And I am looking for a happy faced emoji. Yay! I want to put the emoji in there with the happy face, all right? Not the happy face, the party face for you. And then also Soundwaves, thank you for your donation. So I'm getting to you as well. So I'm going to put thank you so much for your donation too. Cool. At SOUND 44. dot dot dot. Party face 123. Thank you so much, for your donation. So Don Ronald Lemon Clark is his full name according to Wikipedia. I'm talking about now. I asked in AI overview, can you please tell me about how the news decided to pick Don Lemon to host the past New Year's Eve celebration? And we're talking about how he was able to take shots of tequila while hosting the show. He famously drank tequila on air, got his ear pierced during the live 2017 broadcast, and even jumped out of a giant lemon cake in 2022. And you mean they let him go? I think they probably regret that because I haven't seen anyone yet to make CNN hype again. Ratings. These boozy antics became a social media tradition, often trending as hashtag Drunk Don Lemon, which drove significant viewership and viral engagement for the network. This is another thing. When I talked about, I had a live stream recently for Morning Move where it was about why did they name Winter Storm 2026 Winter Storm Fern. We got to the bottom of it. One of the reasons they named gave the Winter Storm Fern a name, even though it is not honored by the lords of the winter people, whatever their name is, they wanted to give it a name because they said it's for hashtag purposes and for ratings and to drive engagement and for views, likes, and clicks. That's the whole reason they decided to name the winter storm this, to drive engagement back to the Weather Channel. Crazy, huh? So the weather people are really turning into, they're seeing the bigger picture here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donation. Oh, I'm coming from the aspect of right now I'm talking about the why did not the why. I know why they let them go, but why not bring it back at least to host the New Year's? Because the whole thing since they fired him a few years ago, news looks at stuff differently now. They are looking for clicks and views. They're looking for watch time and engagement. Just like how us content creators need all those things, quote, to tick and talk. The news people have realized, some of them later than that, some later than sooner, have realized the miracles of engagement, interaction, keeping someone's attention. They want people to talk about them. So Don Lemon now, even though he's in a situation, he was the a perfect person they should have kept because he the social media just said it. That's the reason they hired him to host New Year's, because of this right here. The network's New Year's Eve coverage, because of his high energy, viral moments, and loose hosting style. People need that nowadays. Thank you so much for your donation. I'm going to put that in there. So I'm coming from a marketing aspect now because that's where the times have changed since after letting him go. They need viral content. They need engagement. They need a person with an attitude that's not so blah, because they are trying to reach to Gen Alpha and Gen Z. And you have to show up differently for them. They're a new generation. You cannot come with the same stuff. It's not going to work. I was saying that in reference to the topic that we have here, a book you think would make a great movie. Someone put The Stand. The Stand's been out for forever and a day. Although the words have not changed, the face of the book has changed. Why? So it can catch the attention of the new generation. The picture, the cover art of The Stand matches something that this new generation can relate to. So it'll guarantee that they'll pick up the book and read the same words we read. But what drew them in is the imagery. So we need to do that for these news people. So I'm going to put in here, thank you so much for your donation as well. So that's the place I'm coming from with Don Lemon, and also refreshing my memory of who he is, because I've heard of him, but I really didn't hear of who he was until he started hosting those those New Year's Eve parties, and that's what we're talking about right now. Thank you so much for your comment and donation. There we go. Here's a fun fact. Copy and paste with Don Lemon. And here's the fun fact that I'm going to copy and paste into the chat so you can see why they chose Don Lemon in the first place. For all the reasons social media and TV need people now, are all the reasons they hired him years ago before they fired him. The last point in this section, it says here, ratings. These boozy antics became a social media tradition, often trending as hashtag drunk lemon, which drove significant viewership and viral engagement for the network. Is he the next? Let's see here. I saw your question. I don't want that to happen to anybody. No, don't nobody deserve that. But I did see your question, and thank you for asking that. Further on, in reference to AI overview, I asked once again, can you please tell me about how the news decided to pick Don Lemon to host the past New Year's Eve celebration? It's got here the independent error. I'm going to take a sip of water really quickly. The independent era 2025 through 26. After being fired from CNN in 2023, Lemon decided to continue the tradition on his own terms by hosting an independent live stream. Creative freedom. For the most recent 2026 New Year's Eve, he returned to New Orleans to host a block party on Frenchman Street. Were you guys around to see it? Motivation. Lemon stated he wanted to return to the boozy format after CNN management reportedly restricted on-air drinking for their anchors in 2023. And lastly, according to AI Overview, collaborators. He invited several former colleagues and celebrities such as D.L. Hughley, of course, Big Frida, you already know. Y'all see Big Frida's cook show during the C19, because we can do that now. Did you guys watch the cook show? Boy, it was so wonderful to just see all that food in the kitchen. The kitchen was full of pans, pots, bowls, cooking utensils, flour, food everywhere. And then the two dogs, it was so cute to hear the two dogs running around. And then her helper was there. It was to hear them engaging in conversation, lightly singing songs while they prepared food and taught us how to make the food and where to go get the said cooking utensils. So once again, collaborators, he invited several former colleagues and celebrities such as D.L. Hughley, Big Frida, and Dole Salon to help maintain the quote party vibe that viewers had come to expect from this past broadcast. So I can only expect from here on up that Don Lemon's New Year's event will get higher in the charts and higher in the ratings. Especially, I'm hoping that somebody picked that up, because it just brought a lot of joy to a lot of people. So that's good that he started that, and I do recall seeing that in my timeline that he was doing something special for the New Year's. You guys, I was really sleepy, so I actually went to sleep early for the New Year's, and that was great. So I did miss that one. However, I'm quite sure I can go back and watch it on this platform, and then if I wanted to commentate on it, I could. Especially now, that he's got his own platform, it'll be easier to find. So I'm expecting that to just grow every year, and more people will probably want to be a part of it. I can kind of see more of the celebrities wanting to partnership with him during the end of the new year to do their New Year's big one, because it's so selective on they're so selective on who they pick and big box media for who they want to lead to celebrate the New Year's. I mean, the list is long, so they have to be selective. But over on Don Lemon's podcast, Don Lemon show, they'll have a probably a 98% chance of being able to do their big one and bring in the new year. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. That was my question in there, and there's no deep dive overview in that. I think that it answered my question pretty much so, and also reinforced what I was saying during the first hour of this. The news has changed now, so they have to keep up with the changes. And one of the things that they need is high energy. Whether you like it or not, they need viral moments because they need the word to go around. So you got to have somebody on your squad to do that, to help keep breathing life into these news networks. So it's like a new job has opened up, a new job position has opened up in that area. We've got the social media and marketing. If that might be a lot on their plate, so they might need someone else, another department to open up in the whole news realm to specifically, let's just say, be the news mascot. They need a hype man. They need a hype man for the news so they can do all the things that they need, which unfortunately matters in the name of analytics. Yeah, a job at a job, all they need is profitable because yeah, that they could determine if they want to get rid of you or not. Exactly. So since things are different now, it's geared towards being viral in a way. I think that that's what they need. They need a new department. What's going on, Chile? Bam. Yeah, sometimes you guys, hi, thank you so much for coming, Chile. Taking a pay cut, guys, is not an insult. It's an act of integrity. You can do what you love, but at what cost? So yeah, he took a pay cut, but and was working at YouTube on his own pace. I'm writing to you, Chile, saying hello. But he's much happier, and once again, the news reported that he's starting up his whole New Year's Eve thing again that he couldn't do anymore. So everything's working out. Thank you for coming in. There we go. So sometimes when you take a pay cut for the higher good, you get in exchange, what you get in exchange for that is your peace of mind. And nothing can replace a peace of mind. And like I said, it's paid off. Especially yesterday when he was unfortunately in jail, his friends showed up to the plate and held the platform down while he was locked up. So that's another thing, sometimes taking a pay cut, you may not see the payout instantaneously, but if you stand for what you believe in, wanting to have less stress in your life, you'll eventually see it. And it showed yesterday because all of those 5 people who kept his show running while he was locked up didn't miss a beat, all the way until he got out. They stayed there on that live stream, giving updates, providing words of encouragement, not only for him, but for all the people who were listening, saying that you guys continue to be yourselves. You guys, be encouraged. Things like that is what they were saying. So I think that's really cool. I wouldn't be surprised. Why not celebrate? Do you think Don Lemon is going to show up for the Super Bowl? We have Cardi B out there. You guys, the football place in sports games, they always have good food. So if anything, show up for the food. Forget the game. Go for the food. Bring you a cooler if they let you, and wait till the end, right before the game is about to be over, and buy up all the food because it's supposed to be sold really cheaply. And that's where you maximize your dollar and your experience. Hang out there, get all those foods on sale because they're trying to get rid of them. Put it in your cooler and just leave before the game and you beat the crowd. It's a win-win. It is a win-win. Hey, how you doing? But yeah, speaking of Cardi B really quickly, her hair was awesome. It was so pretty. Um, if she shows up, she shows up. Why not? And if she shows up, I wonder what she's gonna get. I'm always talking about nachos at these games because their food be so good. So yeah, if she shows up, she shows up. Her energy was pretty awesome. Once again, it's different. It's different, guys. Don Lemon, Cardi B. You may not know their whole history, but you know their household name. And what they do have in common is that they are very engaging, whether you like them or not. They're interacting when their camera is on. They will hold a conversation about anything under the sun. It can keep going. So they're going to keep your attention no matter what. And right now, in this day and age with social media, that's exactly what they need. The longer you can hold someone's attention, the more money they get. And they could care less about your past. They just want to know how long you can keep their attention because we have bills to pay. Can you guarantee me when I say 3, 2, 1 action, you can stay up there and hold the line for at least 20 minutes? I've got a big budget that I got to pay for, and I need a solid 20 for you to feel and hold. Can you do that? Yes or no? Boom. Then you get the job. That's it. That's where we are right now. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. And Don Lemon spent a whole lifetime's of money on a college education, and he still was able to pivot. Albeit the going to college and all that stuff is what you needed in the past. He didn't stay in the funk like a lot of people are staying in the funk for what I'm seeing, saying like, I spent $400,000 on his education and now you're telling me it's no good. Unfortunately, I'm so very sorry. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Now it's about being able to pivot. What else you got in your bag? Don't just rely on your paper. Rely on how cool you are. Go back to the times of your youth when you were able to, for a lot of you, talk on the telephone for hours and you didn't know how you were on the phone for 4 and 5 hours at a time. You got to go back to those times because that's where we are now. The only thing is we can see one another when we're talking. That's it. But it's like going back and talking on the phone. Thank you so much, Sean Waves, for your donation. High five. That's where we are right now, whether you like it or not. Holding someone's attention long enough to pay them bills for corporate. They'll love you forever until the next wave hits. Regardless of the fact, do good to them, they'll do good to you. That's it, that's all. So having said that, we all know the saying, the forest amongst the trees. We leave it at that. But on the surface of things, times are changing, times have changed, and I'm glad they are where they are. We just have to learn how to find the positive in it, and the positivity of it is we do have to change a little bit. As long as we're here, a lot of people wanted to stay a kid forever, but you woke up and found out you 53 years old. You didn't stay a kid forever, but you remained a child at heart. So all is not lost. So that's the way social media is today. I can tell you that much for sure. So bringing up this whole Don Lemon thing, it's more to it than that. That's what I'm gathering out of it. The more to it is all the things I've talked about for almost 2 hours. The evolution of media, the evolution of news and presentation. That's what this means. I'm typing here and put that in here. Thank you, T, if I can spell correctly. Thank you so much. And I want to put, oh, look at, that's the saxophone. Like in Super Mario Brothers, when the movie goes off, he was like, kind of makes you want to play saxophone, don't it? Yay! So where we are in our notes, guys, I really appreciate your donations and for pressing the like button. That's really cool. I'm almost at 30 already. I asked, can you please tell me about how the news decided to pick Don Lemon to host the past New Year's Eve celebrations? Don Lemon became a staple of the network's New Year's Eve coverage because of his high energy, viral moments, and loose hosting style. All the things that Cardi B comprises of, whether you like it or not. She's got high energy. You are going to get a viral moment out of her, and her loose hosting style is unscripted and it is expected. We're not here to watch a stuffy Cardi B or stuffy Don Lemon. We are here to see them be them. That's what they are getting paid for. Those are the three things media are looking for in talent right now. Forget your PhD right now. According to AI Overview, the CNN era 2006 through 2023, my cool peeps, as we gather around the ring of fire while the sun is still rising, CNN originally selected Lemon to provide a contrast to the more formal countdown in New York City. The strategy, while Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen anchored from Times Square, CNN moved Lemon to southern cities like New Orleans or Nashville to host a, quote, party atmosphere. The independent era. In 2025 through 2026, after being fired from CNN in 2023, oh, bum, bum, bum. They was like, I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more. You get on out of here, Lemon. We don't need you. After being fired from CNN in 2023, Lemon decided to continue the tradition on his own terms by hosting an independent live stream. Creative freedom, motivation, and access to collaborators are the things that got him going to want to bring it back, y'all. So that was a summary of what we just read. To round up your comments in the chat, Chris 3227, that just brought on home all the things that you asked and for me to answer them for you and why I said the things I said. So there's once again a lot of things going on amongst celebrities and the big wigs who run the world. But it wouldn't make sense no matter what platform you are in or what type of power that you have if no one was paying attention to them. So once again, the bottom line is holding one's attention. If you're not holding the attention of anyone who wants to be heard, you can just throw all your plans into the garbage. How do you keep a baby calm? You keep them attentive. Entertain them. If we're not paying attention to them, the battle is lost. I'm going to look at my notes to see if I have anything else I personally want to know before I mosey on out of here. Let me see here. While there were no authentic mentions of whether or not Don Lemon likes lemonade, he did mention, according to AI Overview, that he drank lemon water, and he liked lemon water because it was an alternative to other unhealthy drinks. That's as close as we got for whether or not Don Lemon likes lemonade or not. I was waiting for someone to come out of the woodwork and correct me. If you guys don't mind getting corrected, someone who's a know-it-all or someone who just want to make you feel better will come out and correct your grammar. So I didn't know if it was do or does, but I knew someone would come out and correct me. It's hard for me to remember those things, so I'm not being sarcastic or cynical or any of those words, because if I knew, I would have put it in there correctly. So he or she says, does he, not do he. So yeah, I just struggle with that. Always have. That just might be something I have to deal with. I found that I was going to have an issue understanding the English language in 4th grade, and ever since then I've been stumbling across as I go. So hopefully I'll remember that. If not, there'll be somebody in the comments who will be itching to correct us. So I'm going to leave a comment up there as a way to hopefully help me remember how to do it. But thank you for the correction. So what I was doing is I'm looking through my notes to see if there's anything else I wanted to ask that I personally want to know regarding the whole Don Lemon situation. Who he is. He found out that who his real father was when he was 5. He had some things happen to him that wasn't fair. You know, so his story starts really sad, like a lot of people who has a hard story, an unfair story when they're growing up, in adolescence, and it can change the trajectory of your life from that point on. So Don Lemon, I'm sorry that you had an uncomfortable start in life when you were young. A lot of people probably share the same sentiment, but through it all, you still were able to become, you know, successful, let's say that. What else do I have in here? Can you please? That's all my notes. I wasn't able to think of anything else. That's all I have. And I even gave a shout out to what was it, MTV. But you'll have to watch the replay to see what I said about the whole MTV thing of it all. What is this down here in AI Overview? Hold on. What is this? Who is Don Lemon? I started out with that. So in reference to this, I can go back to this at the top. Who is Don Lemon? Since we went and read more of a brief synopsis on Wikipedia to define who he is, opposed to the information I got straight off of AI Overview. I'm looking for my sticky pad notes. Hold on, guys. Copy and look for my heart and paste and heart and move forward. There. It says here, Don Lemon is an American television journalist and author best known for his 17-year tenure as an anchor at CNN from 2006 to 2023. Currently, he works as an independent journalist, hosting the Don Lemon Show on YouTube and Substack. Substack. Never mind the parrot, y'all. I haven't found it yet. Story of my life. Recent news and arrest. January 2026. On January 29th, 2026, Lemon was arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles while covering the Grammy Awards. Did y'all know that? That I didn't know. Wow. Wow. charges. He faces federal civil rights charges, including some of the things that I'm not going to read, but take the liberty to see why. You simply will have to type in why was Don Lemon arrested, and you'll see all the words that he was arrested for. Reasons: the charges stem from his coverage at a protest on January 18th inside City's Church of St. Paul, Minnesota, which disrupted a worship service. So once again, this is this is the reason why he was arrested. The charges still from his coverage of a protest on January 18th inside City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota, which disrupted a worship service. Outcome: Lemon was released without bond on January 30th and has vowed to fight the charges, maintaining that he was acting as a journalist. So for all of those who want to see or find the information on your own, here it is. I'll copy and paste this so you can figure it out. Shouts out to all my cool peeps who donated and pressed the like button. And also for the ones who subscribed, I really appreciate it because you most certainly did not have to. After all, finally, society has caught up to acknowledging that your time is money. So thank you so much for giving of your time. Career highlights according to AI Overview. CNN 2006 to 2023. I may sound like a broken robot, but this is how it is typed up on my notes. And repetition is key. So having said repetition is key, does he, not do he? Grammar, black people. Does he, not do he? Perhaps I'll remember it, perhaps I won't. Moving forward. CNN 2006-2023. He anchored long-running programs like Don Lemon Tonight, formerly CNN Tonight, and co-hosted CNN This Morning. Do you guys remember any of those shows? Firing from CNN. He was ousted in April 2023 following a period of on-air controversies, including widely criticized remarks regarding someone named Nikki Haley and her prime. I don't know what that's all about, but I know he got fired. The Elon Musk interview. In 2024, Lemon briefly partnered with the platform X, known as Twitter, but Elon Musk canceled the deal immediately after their debut interview. I do remember that. He was on there for like 5 seconds. I was really happy for him. I'm like, oh, somebody hired him. And then just like that, they let him go. Early career. Before CNN, he worked as a correspondent and anchor for NBC News and various local affiliates in Chicago, Philadelphia, and Birmingham. That is a lot of places to relocate. You know, goodness. Personal life. Wow, AI Overview just tell us everything. According to AI Overview, marriage, he married a real estate agent, Tim Malone, in New York City on April 6, 2024. So that was about a year after he got fired from CNN. Books. He has authored several books, including his memoir, Transparent, which came out in 2011. This is the Fire, which came out in 2021, and I Once Was Lost in 2024. These are the publications that he released to the world. And for the last one, note, I will copy and paste those books in here just in case you want to read them or check it out. All in the name of the fact that one of the questions I have on my Android, if you guys are able to see it on your device, a book you think would make a great movie. So if you're into reading or are curious to know more about Mr. Lemon, these are the 3 books that he published and released throughout the years. Once again, a book you think will make a great movie. Shouts out to the ones who earlier commented the books they thought will make great films. So So having said that, what else can I see here? We've got the Lemon book is in there. I'm going to look down here to see about the auto-generated questions. If there's something in the auto-generated questions that spark my interest, I'll click on it and read it. So let me see what I'm going to see what the three say. What other? Yeah, I'm not going to touch on that. We read about why they picked him for New Year's. Maybe this one. Tell me more about his New Year. Tell me more about his New Year's Eve show in New Orleans. Oh, it looks like it's taking me directly to an article. But what year is this dated, though? Well, there's an article that I'm reading. I'm going to have to remember to put this link in the comments below for future reference. And it says here, Don Lemon to host his own New Year's Eve 2026 broadcast from New Orleans, going to be lit. This article was written / typed by Keith Spira, staff writer, from December 22nd, 2025. They said it's about a 1-minute read. It's from NOLA.com in the entertainment section. Former CNN anchor Don Lemon plans to host his own independent New Year's Eve live stream from New Orleans to Ring in 2026. Lemon's boozy antics during previous New Year's Eve broadcasts from New Orleans are the stuff of TV legend and inspired the social media hashtag Drunk Don Lemon. See? As 2016, hold on, returning to your page, just one moment, the page is refreshing. Don't know if I'll be able to read all of this article, if it's one of those websites where I have to subscribe to read. We're going to find out shortly after the page refreshes. Continuing on. As 2016 ticked down, Lemon, who had been steady swigging tequila and beer at the not both at the same time. Woo! Somebody help him, please. As 2016 ticked down, Lemon, who had been steadily swigging tequila and beer at the Spotted Cat Music Club on Frenchman Street, mused about his romantic life or lack thereof. He also got his left ear pierced with the Fleur de Lis stud live on the air. Soon after the clock struck midnight to usher in 2017, CNN cut off Lemon's microphone and called it a wrap. I tell you, man. A Baton Rouge native, Lemon 59, was fired by CNN in 2023, so he may have a little payback in mind when his December 31st live stream competes with his former CNN colleague, Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper. Cooper will preside over the network's more traditional New Year's Eve broadcast with Andy Cohen from Times Square in New York. In a recent Facebook reel shot on a cold night in New York, Lemon said that on New Year's Eve, he, quote, wanted, quote, to go where people are warm and they're partying and having a great time, and that's New Orleans, end quote. On New Year's Eve, he continued, quote, we're going to be lit, end quote. Lemon will host a live stream on his YouTube page and his other social media pages, where he's been creating his own newscast since leaving CNN. He'll be going live from a block party style event on Frenchman Street, splitting his time between music clubs, DBA, and the Spotted Cat. The Spotted Cat. The trim bass will be the house band at the Spotted Cat, while Glenn David Andrews will be on stage at DBA. Big Frida and other musicians, culture bearers, and chefs will make special appearances throughout the night. You guys, that sounds like a really warm way to bring in the new year. Although it's orchestrated in a nice way where it's not stuffy. It's going to keep you entertained, and I'm quite sure you learned something because he's not just standing in one spot. He's talking amongst the people who actually live there and best represent New Orleans. He's got food, he's got something to drink, he's got stories to tell, stories to be heard from by all the people I'm quite sure he interviewed, because it's the people that make the story. Continuing on with this article, tickets from Don Lemon Live New Year's Eve VIP experience are on sale via dbang world dbang worldneworleans.com. However you say it, DBANE something something something. And all these other places where you could have gotten tickets. Now that that event is over, starting at $178 for general admission. VIP options are available. I honestly don't think that's a lot for a New Year's Eve event that's probably, how can I say this? $178 for a New Year's event that's going to be safe, well orchestrated, is worth it. And then you're going to have lots of food to eat. The DBA website promises no rules, no bosses, no scripts. Don is coming home loud, unapologetic, and unfiltered. And then it says, the article ends with hide the tequila and the earrings. You guys, once again, I just finished reading this really fun article um, about Don Lemon to host his own New Year's Eve 2026 broadcast from New Orleans, going to be lit. Here's the citation from the article that I just read. I'm just going to put it down here. Citations from the article I just read. And then I'm going to actually wrap it up because I've learned all the information I wanted to, and then some. Here is the information from the article I just read. I'm going to copy and paste it if it will allow me. Copy. And here's here's the information that is by. So if you're interested in reading what I just read to you, I have the information pinned within the comments. You guys, I had a really good time talking on here. It's just a couple hours out of the day, and I got all my questions answered that I wanted to know about in general, especially since, regarding from 2000, was it 2023? I just didn't take the time to look up to specifically say why he got fired. But now that I'm reading everything again, it's all coming back to me now, especially how he got fired. Oh my goodness, man. It's funny how the tables turn, guys. Just keep living. Just keep on living, and the tables will turn in your favor. Just hold on and keep living. Thank you so much for your donations once again, for your comments in here, and for your thumbs up. It means a lot. Everything counts. Everything adds up. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Once again, shouts out to all of the people who supported Don Lemon while he was in jail, for keeping his. Shouts out to the ones who kept his channel going while he was locked up. And also shouts out to the host on the news people on CNN who reported the breaking news when it happened, yesterday morning. Regardless of whether or not you may feel some type of way about Don Lemon, it sure didn't show up in your presentation of when you were recovering the news. So I really like that because I was able to just focus in on the news as it should be and not be worried about other stuff. So shouts out to you guys for just being completely professional in that regard and just letting the news be the news, leaving your differences and biases out the door. So Thank you, CNN people. You guys did a wonderful job covering everything yesterday, even talking about, the lady who passed away from Home Alone, and also keeping us informed on the Winter Olympic news. CNN was really informative yesterday. I'll probably turn back to it again. Ratings, ratings, ratings. That's what you guys want. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you to all my new subscribers who subscribed during this live stream. You guys be safe out there. Last time I checked, we're getting some more snow here in Georgia. Guys, do your best to stay warm and to continue to turn life's lemons into lemonade. That's all we can do. Bye bye.